Hello there, how's it there? Ame Gakita. Alright, I think although I'm gonna say it as a general term, but at this point of time, I don't feel like it's wrong for me to say that Western game company are all doomed to fail. Well, I mean, like, sure, you guys will be saying, like, stop aiming, like, I'm just a hypocrite whatsoever along the line. I'm a person who don't love to play Western game along the line. Well, true. I mean, like, considering that most of the game I've been playing mostly came from ASEAN, Japan, China, or South Korean, apparently. So, obviously, to me, when people ask me, like, oh, what is the game that I tend to play? Yeah, Swift Out, which is the one that create Nikkei Guardian of Victory, which is from South Korea. MiHoYo, obviously don't need to say, Chinese company who actually released top 3 game at the moment, Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, as well as Honkai Star Rail. Now, Japan game wise, there is also kind of like a pure debate, but even so, over the years, a lot of game I've been playing and being a fan of, like the Tales series, Monster Hunter series, so many games that I've been playing. Obviously, I do, even till now, I still respect a lot of Japanese game and like it. The only issue is that considering that why I don't play Western game is that, don't get me wrong, I used to play it. Dota, COD, CS, like all these Western game, even till now, I occasionally do talk fondly about the game in the past, but not now. And it's a very simple reason. The reason why I don't play a lot of Western game nowadays is that at this point of time, even if, like, let's say for example, if people ask me, like, do I play Assassin's Creed? Yes, in the past. Now, I think if you guys can look at the screen when Rev Sun indicating, like, oh, Ubisoft is officially cool. Normally, I won't go to that extent. This is one of the reasons why I sometimes have to a little bit of disagree with Reza. I mean, like, his argument point are very, very good though, don't get me wrong. So if you guys want to hear from his point of view, do check out his video for his full take. But the one thing is that I wouldn't say that they are officially cooked, is that they won't cook until I see them shut down. The moment they shut down, that is when I will say they are officially cooked. But obviously, I believe he's kind of like indicating that when you're embracing like DI or whatsoever, skin color or anything, it kind of like get people wondering, like, are you willing to buy the game? So the only issue is that lately a lot of games, like Suicide Squad or Star Wars Outlaw, if I believe so, is that a lot of time this kind of game have been so-called tainted by the dirty hand of Sweet Baby Inc., which is trying to include the DEI, and ironically, it's like they saying that it's because it's diversity, it's equality, and it's inclusive. The only issue with I have all three is that they are just forced DEI. What does that mean? Well, forced DEI in a term is basically, as termed by many gamers, is inclusive of style that not everyone want. I mean, like, in terms of like things that you want to add to a story, I mean, like, sure, if you want to like make a character be black or white or lesbian, whatever along the line, by all means, go ahead. There's nothing wrong with it. The only issue is that how are you gonna set the character to in a way that is both acceptable by the community as well as the story makes sense? If there is nothing to make sense to it, then obviously there's something wrong. I mean, like, it's kind of like back to the point of, I believe, is Bayonetta, when a lot of people been debating, like, is Bayonetta a lesbian or not? Well, in a way, maybe in one of the timeline, maybe she is, maybe in another timeline she is straight. So it's like, the one funny thing about Bayonetta game 1, 2, 3 is that there is different timeline, there is different version of her. So obviously everyone is different. So for that game, if they want to add in like all this, it's fine. It's the same thing like for Ubisoft. Their next game coming out, I believe, will be Assassin's Creed Shadow, where it's about a gay black man going around killing Japanese people. Taking thing out of content, am I? Well, that's what those people at IGN, Kotaku, as well as company love to make about, and more so that they are giving double standard for games like that. So for example, if Stellar Blade, which is the done by Swift, the same company that I mentioned earlier for the Nikkei's Guardian of Victory. They give the Stella game a 7, but a game Dustborn, which is basically that I covered previously, a game that teaches you how to bully others and cancel others, and they get the same score, 7. It's kind of like I talked about this in my video back then. I would recommend you guys go and check out all the video that I put out will be shared in the link description below, so do check them all out. But one of the things I do mention in that back then is that if I'm going to let this game be played, I have to make sure they set a rating for it, at least 18 years old and above. Because if a children play this game, they are going to learn a lot of bad things, that including cancellation as well as bullying. And I don't want my child, if I have one, to do that. So it's kind of like teaching, like they can claim that it's a graduation, it's an educational game, it's a fun game, but when I look at it, it's just how to be a Karen, how to be a bastard, how to be a beggar. So it's kind of like made me wonder, like, why would people even bother buying this game? And right now, it's the only issue is that they kind of like, I did kind of cover it about the issue about how the Western game failure have been like going off. I know this is more about why they are failure, but you have to understand that when you think about it, right, is that it's not about like adding DEI is a bad thing, don't get me wrong. If you want to add DI, it's fine, but at least within margin of error. Meaning to say that at least make it that the story makes sense, the personality of the character makes sense, everything seems to make sense, there is no bad thing, there's no so-called like teaching how to bully people, how to be a bastard or whatsoever. It's like, how are you going to create a game like that? I mean, like even for Monster Hunter, it is still under debatable for Monster Hunter World, where a lot of people are talking about is DEI slip into it. I kind of feel like there is a possibility of that happening, but the issue is that I'm still giving the benefit of doubt to the developer on the Japan side. Is that if they are able to convince everyone that the game, despite having DEI, is still a workable game where the story makes sense, where personality of the character makes sense, the back-end story makes sense, everything makes sense, then I think that's fine. But the moment if anyone knew that there will be going to be DEI and everything just doesn't make sense, yeah, I think Capcom is not going to recover from that as well. That's the reason why earlier I mentioned that why I'm kind of like can respect a lot of Japanese game company, but on the other hand, I'm kind of like giving it a wait and see approach. Because jumping the gun at any point of time always tend to give a lot of people the bad end, and it's best to give them the benefit of doubt for now. Give them, see how it goes, and then see if by then do we have to make noise or not. If the game is fun and what's not, I think it's fair to have it. But when it do inclusive of those stuff, then like DI or doesn't make sense. I mean, like I really look at the character. The character look nice. There is also different races. Apparently, there is black, there is white. So in a way, this is what I actually would call a proper diversity. It's not about all black and no white, or all white no black. Diversity, inclusive, equality is always part of everything. Has to be a balance. That's the reason why initially I mentioned in the past that DI have a good motion, a good movement. It's just that people misuse it and it became what it is now, that a lot of people hate it. So the only issue is that I'm not saying that are we gonna give DEI a chance. I'm saying that if a game company do know what they are doing, at least even if they do include DEI, at least everything should work. The only issue why Oshi kind of saying like DEI kind of like being on the feeling side is that the company called Rev Say Desu, which creates Suicide Squad, which is kind of like being franchised by Warren Brother, been kind of like lay off a lot of people accordingly, including on quite a few people well known in. And it's kind of funny is that some of the people inside was actually do talk about like kind of like raise some issue apparently that due to maybe DEI or was not what or the shift in direction along the line, who knows, that a lot of the people who leave Rocksteady initially was because of directional differences. And at this point of time, it's kind of like understandable because some of the developer or some of the people who work in there or even co-founder themselves decided to leave Rocksteady and create their own game company called 100 Star Game. It's kind of like showing that right now Rocksteady may be just only left with non-talented people. Not saying that they are bad in any way. It's just that the reason why I would have to use talentless people is that they are like there is some developer out there indicating that gamers are just talented free. There's also one of the reasons why I never play Western game, because if I'm talentless, then it's fair for me to not play their game because their game is too hard for me. So obviously it doesn't sit right with me and what's not. But it's kind of like make you wonder, like is there still a chance for a Western game to bounce back? Personally, I think there is. It's still possible. There is still a way for it to happen if they don't include DI. If they do have to include DI, at least everything smooth or cater equally, everything spread out, and I think it should be fine. At least, and also the story makes sense, the game mechanic is fun, the character look nice. I mean, like, I know people saying like character doesn't look nice or it doesn't matter. Yeah, look at Ubisoft game really. Like Rev talk about the Outlaw game. I'm pretty sure I did a video about it. Yes, I did a video about it. The Acolyte and the Outlaw will become Star Wars Nightmare. More so that I did talk about the Outlaw itself. The character doesn't look nice. They say that it's too hard to model after a real life person. It's kind of interesting that they actually mentioned that. Black Myth Wukong managed to do it. The same game company, Game Science Web, Game Journo, as well as game company from the Western side, trying to bash the company for sexism and what's not, and how there is no DI in the game. Yet the game was able to model a game character after a real life person. You can just look at the similarity. It's like the game character looks so real. And I mentioned a lot of time, the technology to create a model to look like a real life person was already there. It's just whether can the person who make the model able to do it. And this is one of the reasons why earlier I mentioned that the Western game company maybe having a lot of talentless people, is that if the Western people can't do it, why isn't the Eastern game company able to do so? It's kind of like back the question, like what are the Western company trying to prove? Is it that they are trying to so-called push a ugly model they do and say, oh, it's DI? Are they using DI as a meat suit at the moment? So it's kind of like make me wonder about what the game company have been pushing forward. What are they trying to indicate? And I mean, like, the technology has been there to make a character that look nice, and it precisely because a lot of the character look nice, that's the reason why a lot of people embrace the game, as well as having the game to sell over 10 million units across all platforms, proving the success of a game by an indie Chinese company as compared to big name Western company, where even right now they are still struggling to even make a outbreak with the game itself. More so that Red Sun did kind of like joke about talking about it, making haste about it, and at this point of time, it's just really just show how a lot of the game just don't deserve to be loved, especially the Western game, just because they're trying to use DI as their mission, saying the character is too hard to make. It's just a lazy excuse. At this point of time, I think if the Western game company wish to bounce back, learn to have a proper game, learn to have a good story writing, learn to have the game model look nice. And if you want to make a few character that look uglified or whatsoever along the line, sure, go ahead. Don't make them too much of a center point in like at the start. Maybe like let your character look be the nice looking one, and then midway you kind of like interact with this kind of person, or maybe one of the enemy is that kind of person along the line, or maybe this one will support along the line. Like if Dustborn is able to make a lovable character, a kind robot, to be cancelled by the main player, yeah, that's tell a lot of people that this game don't even deserve any support. Because the funny thing is that if people say that, hey, if gamer love to bash on game, then I'm sure that gamer will not even support the game. Dude. If the game is really bad and gamer don't support, people won't even support. But if the game is a good game and people want to support the game, even if people try to put a boycott on the game, people will still play the game. AKA Genshin Impact done by HoYoverse or the actual company, parent company, MiHoYo. It's kind of ironic that how the boycott of MiHoYo or boycott of HoYoverse or boycott of Genshin Impact has been so bad, so much of a failure that it kind of made me really wonder, are you sure you want to cancel this game? Because the thing is, right, even if people say that, oh, you should remove boycott from your name, I'm free to play. Yeah, you are free to play the game. The only issue is that boycott is to not support the game, yet you're playing the game. You boycott by playing the game. That is not a protest. Amazingly. So it's really kind of like to show like a lot of things that a lot of Western people love to make noise. It's really kind of made me wonder, like, is it really what you feel like? I mean, like, if the game is really gonna be cancelable or be like not inclusive of DI and people need to make noise about it, if those same people can like say that, oh, we're not gonna play MiHoYo game, and now going back and playing the game, it does show a lot of things like character doesn't need to be like the character skin issue, it doesn't need to be the character look ugly or not. As long as the game has fun. I have played the game already. I stream Genshin all the time. Just go and check my live stream on the live stream session. You will definitely know that I've been streaming Genshin for a lot throughout my life. When it first started, not throughout my life. I feel like I've been playing. Am I 4 years old? Yeah. Anyway, the only issue is that even so, like, for me to play MiHoYo game, like especially like Genshin Impact, when it first started out, I'm sure like the issue like back then when you go to Liyue, when you go to Inazuma, no one actually complaining about the character doesn't even look Chinese, or maybe the character doesn't even look Japanese. People doesn't care because it's a fictional game, it's a fictional world. And then it reached Sumeru. And a lot of people been highlighting about how Sumeru characters should not have white in it or whatever along the line. And it's kind of interesting that they are bashing like there is no DEI in the game, even though there is black character in the game, and DEI is basically everything has to be equality. And it's kind of showing how stupid that people have been bashing about DEI on other games like MiHoYo in Genshin Impact, and yet they don't even understand that Sumeru is really there is diversity in it, and now Nalan is facing the same issue, and yet people just keep on making noise about not liking the character and not going back to play the character. And I'm not even sure like MiHoYo is trying to troll those kind of players, because they create a character that is really dark skin, really big, as well as having a muffa hair, and look at his accessory. DI working at the very best. It's kind of just show like one of the reasons why I love MiHoYo game is that even like the game developer know how to be a troll, and I feel like this character, right, I know there will be a lot of people making noise about how some of the NPC look way more playable as a playable character because of skin color, but I feel like at this point of time, MiHoYo is just creating this sort of character to troll, not really like cater to those people. It's more trying to make fun of those minority group or the minority loud people, if they want to call themselves at this point of time. And it's kind of funny how a lot of like game company in Western side don't even dare to do it. I mean, like, if you want to double down, at least include this kind of thing in your game, I think it's fine. But at the same time, I'm not saying that you have to go full stupid, almost say the R word, and just go off stupid and idiotic and trying to make a game character that a lot of people hate. It's really made me wonder like why a lot of Western games are doomed to fail at this point of time. It's just that DI at this point of time is so stupid, it's so polluted, it's so dirty that the initial good point about DI has now gone down the drain and became something that a lot of people don't want now. So if a lot of Western games do like want to listen to my advice and a lot of the gamer advice, I don't embrace DEI. But obviously I'm not gonna hate on DEI, don't get me wrong. If you want to embrace DEI, make sure at least that is like with the form of DEI, have to ensure that you are catering not just to DEI but to the gamer itself. The moment you start attacking gamers, the moment you start making noise about gamers, you're lost. And obviously a lot of Western game company at the moment, when they are embracing the forced DI and or the, in my book, not the real DI, yeah, maybe they should really think carefully, because the game is by a lot of game company. Ubisoft, maybe in few years they might doom to fail along the line, who knows. That's just my speculative thought, just a random chat. If you do agree or disagree, or you have your own view or your own thought, your own opinion, write in the comment below, we can discuss it further. But till then, don't forget to press the like button and subscribe for more random chat, where I talk about stuff sometimes never follow a single trend or never follow a single pattern, or sometimes maybe just totally random or things that doesn't make sense. But the one thing I do hope is, hope you guys have a nice day online.